Hey guys, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be all about Disney Vacation Club, and we're going to be running some very serious numbers. So grab a pencil, grab a calculator, grab a cup of coffee, and let's talk Disney math, shall we? I'm really glad that you're here. So we've owned Disney Vacation Club since 2012. I talk about it on the channel a lot. There is a full playlist you can go check out right here that talks about everything from all the things we wish we had known to how you can purchase resale, to why would you do resale or direct from Disney, to how annual dues work, all the different definitions of things. I have gone on and on and on about Disney Vacation Club. And the thing you need to know about me is I am kind of a nerd when it comes to researching numbers and kind of if something is a good value or not. And when the Riviera first opened and I saw how many points were required per night to stay there, I started to get curious about, okay, when we talk about DVC, how much does it actually cost an owner per night to stay in a particular resort? Now, some of you are going, wait a minute, Jen, I thought that that was included and you don't pay anything when you use your points at a resort at Walt Disney World. Well, yes and no. The truth is you do pay every year in the form of annual dues, and those can either be paid monthly, which is what we do, or they can be paid in one lump sum. So the math that I did, I kind of wanted to figure out because I knew Riviera was a lot more points per night than, say, Old Key West, which is my home resort. How much more is someone paying to stay at the Riviera as opposed to staying at Old Key West? I got out my calculator, I did some online research, and I have receipts. I don't really have receipts, I just have numbers. So if this kind of thing is interesting to you, please make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. And if you're interested in all kinds of videos about Disney, Run Disney, Disney Vacation Club, the Disney Cruise Line, and Disneyland in California, please make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to turn on the little bell notifications so that you don't miss any of this thrilling math. It's not always math. Sometimes I talk about food. I talk about food a lot. Okay, so let's dive right into my findings. Now, the first resort that I tackled was, of course, my own precious home resort of Old Key West, my favorite place on earth that is not my own bedroom. I adore Old Key West. We purchased there actually not that long ago. We bought direct from Disney, and our membership expires in 2057. Now, annual dues do and will go up every year. Sometimes it's just a few cents, sometimes it could be as much as $1, and that is per point. So that really can make a big difference in how much you're paying. But for the purposes of this little experiment, I went with today's numbers. So just kind of bear with me as we plow through this, because the point of this and kind of where I started and the idea I wanted to work through was how much is the realized cost difference between a place like Old Key West and then a place like maybe Grand Floridian or Bay Lake Tower or the Riviera. So for Old Key West, for the week that we stay in January, it's 181 points. Now, keep in mind, we are cheap. So we go during the lowest price requirement of the entire year. Sometimes of the year you pay far more per night, and sometimes of the year you pay far fewer points per night. And there is an entire array of Disney seasons, and all of that can be found on the DVC member website. But for our 6 nights in January in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath villa, it costs us 181 points. We pay $7.83 per point for annual dues, which brings us to $1,417 divided by 6 nights is $236 a night. Now, I know a lot of you are already screaming, wait a minute, it's actually way more than that because Jen, you didn't factor in their initial buy-in. And you, of course, would be right. I purposely didn't, however, because I have no way of knowing what you paid for your contract. There is a vast difference about what different owners paid for their contract. They may have purchased years ago, you may have purchased direct from Disney, you may have financed your points, or you may have purchased on the resale market. And all of those things will affect when you reach the break-even point where you have recouped your initial purchase price and now you're just saving money on accommodations. I ran these numbers with the assumption that you have already passed that threshold, which can take anywhere from 5 to 10 to maybe even as much as 12 or 15 years, depending on if you financed, what your interest rate is. So your actual cost may be far higher than this, but for the point of this experiment, we are pretending that you have already broken even with your initial buy-in. Okay, you with me? I hope you're with me. I hope I didn't just lose a whole bunch of you. Okay, so Old Key West, $236 a night. Now, I really like Bay Lake Tower. I love that I can walk to the Magic Kingdom. If I were going to buy a second home resort, it would probably be Bay Lake Towers. And the amount of money for the same 2-bedroom at Bay Lake Tower, it's actually 3-bathroom villa for that same week. The amount of points required is 229. The dues on that are $6.57 a point as of 2020, which would bring you to $1,504 divided by 6, $250 per night, which is a very good deal for a 2-bedroom villa at Bay Lake Tower. You are saving well over 50% at that point, and that is a fabulous deal. Now let's go to one of the newer resorts. Let's go to the Riviera. Okay. The Riviera for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath villa is going to set you back 248 points, okay? Those points are going to cost you $8.30 per point in annual dues, and that's for 2020. And that amount of money is going to be $2,058, which would mean per night, if you average that out, you're paying $343 per night for your accommodations. So as you can see, although you have purchased your membership and your accommodations are now included, they are far from free. And these calculations are why I usually tell people to really think through, could you be happy in maybe 2 rooms at a moderate instead of a 2-bedroom villa? Now, I'm not saying that I would be happy in that. I love having a 2-bedroom villa. But when I started thinking about purchasing additional points, I thought, you know what, when I get a good deal, sometimes I get, an annual pass holder discount or things like that, I could get 2 rooms at Port Orleans French Quarter for pretty close to what we're talking I'm paying in my included membership, and still have 2 bedrooms and still have 2 bathrooms, and maybe every other year I would be okay with that. Now, when this gets really tricky is when you start talking about the differences in initial buy-in. I purchased our Old Key West points direct from Disney for $155 per point. The Riviera is currently selling at, hold please, because I'm going to look it up on my phone. Yes, the Riviera is currently selling at $193 a point. So for initial buy-in, if I wanted to have, again, that 2-bedroom accommodation at the Riviera, I'm going to need 248 points. So let's do some math here. 248, which is a lot more than I would need at Old Key West, so I'm going to have to purchase a lot more, times 193, brings my initial buy-in to $47,864. So for $47,864 plus $2,000 a year, I can stay in a 2-bedroom at the Riviera. Now let's take my home resort of Old Key West. I would need 181 points times 156, which is what it is currently going for if you buy it direct from Disney. You can get it slightly cheaper than that on the resale market. My initial buy-in would be $28,236, and it's only going to cost me $1,417 in dues per year. Okay, so I'm saving a lot of money in dues. I'm paying a heck of a lot less in my initial buy-in, and I'm paying a lot less in my initial buy-in not just because the amount per point is so much less, but also because I need far fewer points to stay there, okay? Again, going back to Old Key West for the same week is 181, Riviera is 248, okay? So you have to remember that when you're looking at your initial buy-in, there are 3 different things you have to consider. Number 1, home resort point requirement for the length of stay and the type of accommodations you want, the dues for that property, and then what is the initial buy-in cost, because all 3 of those things are going to factor in. You really need to factor in all of the numbers. And then I'm going to say one last thing. If you are financing Disney Vacation Club, please run the numbers for yourself and make sure that you are actually saving money. Depending on your interest rate, it is possible that you will not save any money at all over the life of your membership, or if you do, it will not be for a couple of decades down the road. I am not saying don't do it. I'm saying just remember, whenever Disney does their promotions and they tell you that you're saving 50% off your accommodations, they are basing that on you paying cash, not on you financing your purchase. I personally do not believe that financing Disney Vacation Club is a good financial call, but not everything in our lives needs to be a great financial call. We buy jewelry, we go on vacations, and obviously the best way to save money is to never go anywhere. But I hope that running these numbers will help you to run some numbers of your own and really weigh the cost of a Disney Vacation Club membership for your family, and if those savings are something that you really feel is of good value. I hope that this video made any sense at all. I am not going to lie to you guys. I ran these numbers and I was like, how am I going to explain this to them? Because it is wicked complicated. If you have questions, and I'm sure that you do, please put those in the comments below. If you would like me to do a follow-up video to this, please tell me what you would like me to tackle. And if you're considering purchasing DVC, please tell me if this helped, because for me, it was really eye-opening to see the resorts lined up like that and really see the difference in cost. I hope you're having a great day. If you'd like to support the channel, down in the description box, I have a lot of different ways you can do that. I'll see you next time. Be good to each other. Bye-bye.